Video 1. Welcome to Junisphere. This video shows the procedure to load a topology file set into Junisphere in order to follow any of the remote hands-on workshops of this series. Let's start by typing www.junisphere.net in the web browser. You will need a login and password to access Junisphere. Otherwise, there is a link below which says click to buy now. Once in the home window, click on Banks, then select a bank. Inside a bank, there is typically one or more sandboxes. In this case, there is just one, so let's select it. Now minimize the Details window and click on Reservations. There is already an ongoing reservation in green for 10 virtual machines, which is enough for this workshop. The end date for this reservation is within 2 days, so everything looks fine. What if there was no valid reservation? That is explained later. For the moment, let's just move on. In the Active Topology section, the topology is stopped. Otherwise, you would need to stop it by clicking the Stop button, provided that there are no users using it at the time. Let's go to Libraries. Click on Public tab. There is a public library called Day 1 Books, so let's open it. Okay, there seems to be only one topology for the moment. That will change in the future as more VDay 1 books are published. It's time to start the topology called VDay 1 Introduction to BGP MVPN. Right mouse click on it and select Start Topology. All the virtual machines start one by one. The first virtual machine that starts belongs to the Junisphere access infrastructure and is not configurable. All the other virtual machines belong to the workshop scenario, PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, etc. All these names appear in the pictures in the lab guide. These virtual machines are the Junos routers that you'll work on. Okay, the topology just started. Now it's time to join it. First, enable pop-ups, otherwise the join will fail. Then type your credentials again. Since it's the first time this computer joins a Junisphere topology, a Java applet is installed. This applet will create a virtual private network connection to the topology. Once the connection succeeds, an IP address from the VPN is assigned to the computer. Going back to the Junisphere page, you can check the details of the virtual machines that you just started. Here is a list of all the management IP addresses, and in case things go wrong, you can even have the console connection details. Let's go for plain telnet towards PE1. The username is Juniper, all lowercase, and the password is already mentioned in the banner, clouds. The session is already connected to the router. Things are apparently fine. If you want to see what is inside the topology, right-click on it and then select Download File Set. A zip file is then downloaded to your computer. Let's have a look inside the file set, which as you can see is in zip format. First, the topology.vmm file lists all the virtual machines, stating the Junos version they start up with, in this case VJX_latest, the latest supported version. Next, a list of all the physical, so to speak, interfaces of the routers. You can ignore the EM0, EM1, EM2 terminology and just focus on the GE ports. These are the interface names that you'll find in the routers. You can see that they are connected to internal private bridges. These internal bridges interconnect the virtual machines with each other, allowing for point-to-multipoint connections. Finally, there's also the name of the startup configuration file that each router will load at startup. Where are these files? In the zip file itself, inside a folder called config set. You can find all of these. Actually, you don't really need to care about the details. You're ready to go. So, what if there was no valid reservation? You would need to add one by clicking on the green plus tab. But what if the green plus tab doesn't work? Most likely, it's because the sandbox doesn't have enough capacity. You can add more capacity to your sandbox. You will first need to select your bank, minimize the details window, open capacity, right-click, and finally add capacity to your sandbox.